In the fall of 2024, investigative journalist Ethan Graves arrived in the isolated town of Hollow Creek after receiving a mysterious anonymous letter. Inside was a faded photograph and a chilling message that read, "The truth is still under the Mercer Farm." Hoping to uncover a story worth telling, Ethan began asking questions about the long-abandoned Mercer property. But every conversation ended the same way. Locals avoided eye contact, changed the subject, or warned him to leave the past alone. The deeper Ethan looked, the more obvious it became that Hollow Creek was hiding something. Whatever had happened at the Mercer Farm decades ago had left a scar on the town that never truly healed. While researching at the local library, Ethan met town historian Clara Bennett. Together they uncovered records surrounding the sudden disappearance of the Mercer family in 1978. Official reports claimed the family had abandoned their farm and left town without warning. Yet the evidence told a different story. Their vehicles remained parked outside. Personal belongings were untouched. Even family pets had been left behind. Despite these disturbing facts, the investigation had been closed in less than 2 weeks. No sightings of the family were ever reported again. As Ethan reviewed the forgotten documents, he became convinced that someone had deliberately buried the truth. Determined to find answers, Ethan and Clara visited the abandoned Mercer farmhouse. Time had nearly erased the property, but inside it felt as if life had suddenly stopped decades earlier. Dust-covered photographs still hung on the walls. Children's toys remained scattered across the floor. In a locked bedroom, they discovered the personal journal of Margaret Mercer. Her final entries described strange noises coming from beneath the farm during the night. She wrote about digging sounds, unexplained disturbances, and her husband's growing obsession with something hidden underground. The last page contained only a single terrifying sentence: "They know we found it." Margaret's journal led Ethan and Clara to an aging barn standing behind the farmhouse. Hidden beneath rotting floorboards, they uncovered a concealed trapdoor leading underground. As they descended into darkness, they discovered a vast chamber far larger than either expected. Rusted equipment, abandoned crates, and stacks of forgotten records filled the space. Among the contents were photographs showing unknown men working at excavation sites throughout Hollow Creek. Government documents dating back decades suggested secret operations had taken place beneath the town. Then Ethan noticed something scratched into a concrete wall. A list of names. Every member of the Mercer family was carved into the surface as if someone wanted their presence remembered forever. Not long after their discovery, Ethan realized someone was watching. His motel room was searched, and photographs from the underground chamber disappeared without explanation. Knowing he was getting close to the truth, Ethan and Clara sought out Walter Briggs, a retired deputy who had served during the original investigation. After years of silence, Walter finally confessed what he knew. According to him, the Mercer family had uncovered evidence connected to powerful individuals within Hollow Creek. Orders were given to suppress information, alter reports, and ensure the case disappeared from public attention. But even Walter admitted he never learned what ultimately happened to the family after they vanished. Using information hidden within the underground records, Ethan and Clara located a sealed section of the chamber concealed behind a thick concrete wall. After hours of work, they finally gained access to a hidden room untouched for decades. Inside stood rows of filing cabinets packed with evidence detailing corruption, bribery, and secret activities stretching back generations. But the most horrifying discovery waited in the shadows. Lined against the far wall were 5 wooden coffins covered in dust. Attached to each was a brass nameplate. One by one, Ethan read the names aloud. Every member of the Mercer family was there. They had never left Hollow Creek. The truth had been buried beneath the town all along. The discovery sent shockwaves throughout Hollow Creek. Authorities arrived, investigations were reopened, and long-hidden evidence finally surfaced. As excavation teams expanded their search through the underground tunnels, additional secrets began to emerge. Records linked multiple unsolved disappearances to the same network of corruption. Residents who had spent decades living in fear slowly began speaking out. Stories once whispered behind closed doors were finally brought into the open. With every new revelation, the carefully maintained cover-up began to collapse. the town was forced to confront a dark history that many had spent years trying to forget. Months later, the Mercer family was finally given a proper burial. Hundreds gathered to pay their respects during a memorial service that marked the end of one of Hollow Creek's darkest chapters. Clara reflected on the importance of preserving history, no matter how painful it may be. Walter Briggs publicly admitted his role in helping hide the truth and apologized for his silence. Although many questions remained unanswered, the central mystery had finally been solved. What began with an anonymous letter ended with the exposure of secrets buried for nearly 50 years. Beneath layers of soil, concrete, and fear, the truth had waited patiently. And in the end, it was finally uncovered.